The suspect in the killing of Charlie Kirk has been caught. Trump is looking into left-wing groups for ties to the assassination. But is there something much stranger and much darker at play? Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. As you could probably tell from the title alone, YouTube is definitely not going to like this episode. Over the past month, we've been demonetized over and over since the stories we've covered have been a little bloody. That makes it really hard to keep this show going. And that's why we're grateful to have today's sponsor. You see, there's a lot of talk in 2025 about AI taking people's jobs, and it's true. But at the same time, people who learn AI can make more money than they ever could before, often without even having a college degree. And that's because these days, nearly every white-collar job today demands AI skills. And people who have AI skills have a much better chance of getting a job or starting a successful business than everyone else. That's why I've partnered with Outskill, the world's first AI-focused education platform. This weekend, they're holding a 2-day AI mastermind workshop with 16 hours of training taught by expert mentors. During the 2-day live training, you'll learn 10 plus powerful AI tools, prompt engineering to get the best outputs from AI, how to automate your workflows, and build AI products without code. And when you attend, you'll get exclusive bonuses worth $5,100, including a prompt Bible with 3,000 plus high-impact prompts, a roadmap to make an extra $10,000 a month, and a personalized AI toolkit builder. Over 10 million people have attended this training across different industries, and now it's your turn. This training normally costs $895, but I've partnered with Outskill to give away 1,000 free seats exclusively for my viewers. So clear your weekend. The training is this Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on both days. You will learn so much you can do with AI. You wish you'd attended the last time I told you about it. So scan the QR code or click the link below. And now on with the show. After a 33-hour-long manhunt and several false arrests, it appears we now have the alleged killer of conservative influencer and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. The suspect in custody is 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Robinson was apprehended after his father saw security camera images of the shooter and asked his son if he did it, to which Robinson confessed. The father convinced Robinson to speak to a Mormon youth pastor who then contacted the U.S. Marshals. So yes, it does appear that Charlie Kirk's killer is an otherwise unremarkable young white male from a fairly typical Republican Mormon family. Utah's Governor Spencer Cox confirmed that Robinson had a very different ideology than the rest of his family. Yeah, that's a fair assumption to make. After all, if a MAGA Republican was going to assassinate someone, it probably wouldn't be Charlie Kirk of all people. On top of that, Robinson reportedly had a furry fixation and was living with his trans boyfriend, who is now cooperating with the authorities. I mean, technically, you could be a gay furry and support Donald Trump, though that becomes a lot less likely when you shoot one of Trump's friends and allies, leaving a bullet casing inscribed with the furry phrase, "Notices bulge, oh woo, what's this?" But that didn't stop left-wing accounts from trying to gaslight people into believing this was a case of MAGA on MAGA violence, claiming the shooter was a radicalized MAGA zombie influenced by right-wing hate, that MAGA households breed domestic terrorists, or that he was deeply influenced by the Groyper movement of Nick Fuentes, citing one of Robinson's old Halloween costumes as evidence. Now hold on. Let's get a few things straight. That's not a Groyper, that's a Pepe dressed as a Gopnik. This is a Groyper, this is an Apu, and this is what my life has become. In any case, the Trump administration has begun to probe groups that may have had ties to the plot.
You know, they're already under major investigation. A lot of the people that you would traditionally say are on the left. The problem we have is on the left. And when you look at the agitators, you look at the scum that speaks so badly of our country, the American flag burnings all over the place, that's the left, that's not the right.
Now, Trump isn't entirely wrong. We have seen a rash of leftist violence in recent years, such as the congressional baseball game shooting, which injured then House Republican Majority Whip Steve Scalise. The firebombing of an ICE detention center in Tacoma, Washington, the fiery but peaceful George Floyd riots, the ambush set by armed anti-fascists at an ICE facility in Texas, the 2 attempts on Trump's own life, and just 2 days after the murder of Charlie Kirk, 2 men were apprehended after placing a bomb underneath a Fox News vehicle in Salt Lake City. So yeah, it's clearly a problem. But the Charlie Kirk case smacks of something a little different. Something that goes beyond mere politics. Something very strange. You may have noticed that there's a certain language to a lot of these deranged shooters. The way they dress, their manifestos, their choice of targets, and their weapons. We have Charlie Kirk's killer, whose weapon and ammunition was scrawled with furry slang and Helldivers 2 references. Just a couple of weeks prior, the trans Minneapolis Catholic school shooter covered their weapons in all sorts of edgy quotes and stupid memes. In 2022, a man in Buffalo, New York, shot up a supermarket, killing 10 black people. Those guns were covered in various racial slurs and slogans associated with online extremists. Among the references were callouts to the shooter in Christchurch, New Zealand, who killed 51 people using guns marked with phrases like, "Here's your migration compact," and "Vienna 1683," while live streaming his massacre and at one point saying, "Remember lads, subscribe to PewDiePie." And that massacre was inspired by Anders Breivik, the Norwegian mass shooter who killed 77 people. What I'm trying to say is, this isn't organic. The shout-outs to online fetish communities, the memes, the historical references, none of this stuff would occur to people if they weren't extremely online. As you probably noticed, these cases involve both the extreme left and the extreme right. But what they share in common is an obsession with past shooters. These are more like true crime cults who worship serial killers. The politics are just fuel for what were already incredibly sick people. That's not to say politics don't play a part. In the case of Charlie Kirk, outlets like The Nation reiterated claims that he was a white supremacist and a provocateur who deserves no mourning. Jacobin, meanwhile, says Charlie Kirk brought it upon himself. And this all trickles down to the world of political streamers, who go even further with the vitriol. Take the left's favorite communist nepo baby, Hassan Piker.
Kill them! Kill those motherfuckers! And murder those motherfuckers in the street! Let the streets soak in their red capitalist bloods, dude.
From there, the conversation moves over to Reddit, Telegram, Discord, and private group chats. There, it festers, with users egging each other on with a joking, not joking culture of memes and in-group signaling. Eventually, one of those users is bound to snap and turn those delusional memes into a bloody reality. On Discord, Charlie Kirk's killer joked with his friends about the murder he had just committed. One user tagged Robinson in a photo of the incident, commenting, "Where ya at?" with a skull emoji. While another user joked about turning in Robinson for the reward, to which he responded, "Only if I get a cut." Clearly, there's something sinister brewing online, whether it's left-wing trans furries or satanic neo-Nazis like Order of the Nine Angles. And with the private nature of these chat groups, authorities have a daunting task of trying to root them out. The only advice I can give is stay away from these people. These people aren't real political thinkers. They're not revolutionaries, they're psychopaths. Instead, use the internet for its intended purpose, sharing videos of your cat. And don't get left behind when everyone else is learning how to use AI. Be one of the first 1,000 people to click below and book your slot for OutSkills AI training this weekend. I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching.